What's the story, Morning Glory? What's the word, Hummingbird? Thank you so much for clicking on my channel and for joining me for this review of 90 Day Fiance Season 10, Episode 16, With This Ring Ivy Wed. Let's get into Clayton and Anali. So Clayton and Anali are finally waking up. Even though I'm pretty sure we're towards the end of the season, they're finally giving me something to work with. So Clayton tells us he's been able to confirm an officiant, and he's also been able to confirm a hair and makeup person for Anali. So that part of the wedding is being taken care of. Now the wedding is the very next day. So everything that we see in this episode between Clayton and Anali is occurring the day before the actual wedding. So they talk about each other's bachelor and bachelorette party. Clayton is outside working out. Anali comes out to sit down and talk to him. And so they want to know what happened at each other's bachelor and bachelorette party. So he tells her that, him and his best friend, they just chilled. They swam in the indoor pool and then they played video games all night. And that was it. And so she talks about what happened at her bachelorette party. He asked her, was there a stripper? And she does admit that there was a stripper at the bachelorette party. And this highly upsets Clayton because he had told her that under no circumstances should there be any strippers at the bachelorette party. So he gets upset with her, and I don't understand why he was upset with her when it was the sister that had planned the party. And I think the sister even knew that Clayton did not want a stripper there, because when Clayton asked the sister what was going to be going down at the bachelorette party, she said, either Clayton or Anali asked. The sister said, oh, we're just going to have drinks and watch a movie. So she must have known that her brother did not want a stripper there, but she went ahead and hired one anyway. For Anali. Now I can't remember specifically if Anali had wanted a stripper or if she had just asked the sister if there was going to be a stripper there. I can't remember how that went down. But the bottom line is it was the sister that had brought the stripper to the damn party. But he's taking out his anger on Anali. So Anali starts crying because Clayton starts getting upset with her. He tells her to never ever do this again under no circumstances. So should you ever hire or be around a stripper ever again in life. Now I don't know where there would ever be another opportunity for her to be around a stripper unless she went to somebody else's bachelorette party, which would still be no fault of her own. So I'm not understanding why he's getting so upset over something that was not her fault and that will not be her fault, because she's just not gonna, in the future she's not gonna just randomly hire a stripper and go watch them dance somewhere. So he tells her to never do it again. She gets really upset. She's crying. So she threatens to leave, and she goes and she gets her suitcase and she starts packing up her stuff. Like she's about to hop on a plane and go back to Peru. So Clayton calls his sister and he tells his sister that she's threatening to leave. Their wedding is the next day and it's all about this damn stripper situation. And the sister doesn't even try to protect Anali by saying, Clayton, don't worry about it. The stripper was there, but it's not like they did anything. Nothing went down. The stripper just danced and that was it. She didn't do anything that was disrespectful. She didn't do anything, that was crazy. So, just chill out. No, she didn't do any of that. She didn't say any of that. All she said was, go find her and go comfort your fiance. That's all she said. And she wasn't even apologetic to Clayton and be like, oh my God, I'm so sorry. I didn't know you're going to get this upset about it, but she didn't do anything. No, it was nothing like that, because I still feel like the sister doesn't really care for Anali. Now remember last week's episode, she had said that she wanted to get Anali drunk so that Anali can confess some dark secrets or of how she felt about Clayton or something. So I don't really trust the sister at all. So when she tells her brother, go find her, she didn't say tell her you're sorry. I don't remember her saying that. All she said was go find her, give her a hug, and, talk it out with her. So then Clayton says, why should I feel apologetic when I'm the victim in all of this? And to me, when he said that, I was like, that's absolutely no. You're so completely wrong. How are you the victim, Clayton, when you're the one that's inflicting pain and hurt on your fiance because of something that she had no control over? But you're the victim of all of this, and you're taking out your anger on her for something that she didn't even do. I don't understand how you're the victim. So Anali tells us that she's really worried about her future with Clayton because of his jealousy and his anger. and his insecurities. So she doesn't know how this is going to work out. She says that he gets extremely jealous, and he's the kind of person where when he gets his mind set on something, when he starts asking her questions, he's not going to let up until he gets the answers that he wants. So while she's crying, he finds her in the house and he hugs her. And it was one of those hugs where he was like forcing her to make up with him. She was still in her feelings. She wasn't ready to talk to him. She was still crying. And so I felt like she really wasn't ready for the hug, but he was like, you're going to get this hug whether you like it or not. Like he was trying to force a reconciliation between them when she really wasn't ready. So Clayton says that he's more upset with the party itself instead, and not so much her. I don't know why he didn't say, I'm more upset at my sister for putting you in this situation or for her going against my wishes. But he says, I'm more upset at the situation than I am with you. But he still wants to know, how much does she participate in the stripper festivities? Like he wants all the gory details of, I guess, whether or not she touched the stripper, danced with them, kissed them, hugged them. She did take a selfie with them. We did see that. So he wants to know like exactly what went down. He wants all the details. Anali says she doesn't want to talk about it anymore because she knows that there's nothing she can say that's going to satisfy him. So Annalie suggests that she sleeps in a separate room. And in a way, I kind of felt like she was punishing him for making her feel the way that she was feeling and blaming her for something that wasn't her fault. So she's like, well, you're not going to get any, you're not going to get any loving tonight. So I'm going to go remove myself and go sleep in a separate room. So Clayton says that he's surprised by her response because he was like, I don't understand why you're responding like this because just a few minutes ago, everything was fine. We were hugging each other. No, y'all were not hugging each other. You have wrapped your arms forcibly around her and she was not responding in any kind of way. Y'all were not hugging each other. Y'all had not made up because she was still crying. She was still upset. So I don't know what the hell he's talking about when he tells her, everything was fine just a few minutes ago. We were hugging each other. And she says she's got some things to think about and he doesn't understand what the hell she has to think about. So he's asking her, what do you have to think about? Are you, like having second thoughts about marrying me? And then he's looking at her and he's like, you're really scaring me right now. All I can say, which I've always said, Annalie is not feeling Clayton. I don't know what went down in Peru when he was down there when they first met and when he proposed to her. I don't know what kind of relationship they had, but from what I've seen ever since she's arrived in America, I don't see any love, from her to him. I don't know if what he feels for her is love or if what he feels for her is possessiveness and control and ownership. I don't know, but she's not exhibiting any type of love towards him. I think she has said it a few times that she loves him, but I don't see it. I see him really trying to force her to react in some kind of way with him or force her to feel something for him or force her to express love for him. I don't see her giving it up voluntarily. Like she's not showing any expressions of, any kind of like love or care or anything like that. I'm pretty sure she likes him as a person. I just don't see the love coming from her to him. And I'm not even really sure if he really loves her. And he kept on talking about how he's put 2 years into this relationship and he's not ready just to give up over this whole stripper situation. But Clayton, you made the stripper situation the big deal. It wasn't her making a big deal. It was you making a big deal to the point where she started crying. So I don't know. I think that, if my personal opinion, I think Annalie, go home to your mother, go back to Peru, start all over. I don't really, because even if they do get married, the way Clayton is, it's not going to change. And she also has issues with the fact that he doesn't do anything outside of work and video games. She wants to experience life. She wants to go out and do things. She wants to hang out with friends. And he doesn't want to do any of that. He's an introvert. All he wants to do is play that damn video game from the time he comes home from work until whenever. And that's not the life that she envisioned. So that also is problematic. Yeah, if I was her friend or her sister, I'd be like, girl, just go back home to Peru. Moving on to Rob and Sophie. So Rob picks her up from her mother's hotel And Rob tells her on their way home, he's telling her that she should have had his back the whole entire time in front of her mom. Sophie says that she took the side with whoever she agreed with. She says, if I agreed with you, I said that I agreed with you. If I agreed with her, I said that I agreed with her. And Rob, to him, that's like unacceptable. He's like, no, you should always have my side. And I'm like, does he go to the same school of relationships as Jasmine? Because Jasmine is like that. She's really like into controlling Gino and telling him, when we're in front of your family, you have to have my back at all times. And Rob is doing the same exact thing. I don't understand. Like, let your partner do what the hell they want to do. You have the right to not agree, and you have the right to be like, you know what, I'm not going to put up with this. I don't want to be with somebody who can't have my back at all times, whether I'm right or wrong. But she also has a right to be like, I don't agree with you. I don't think that you were right in that situation. But anyways, so he gets upset with her. He tells her that he was upset that she wasn't 100% on his side in front of her mom. So Robs did apologize for how he talked to her mother. He says, I shouldn't have raised my voice at her. I shouldn't have, said what I said to her. So I do apologize for that. Sophie addressed his subliminal social media post that she feels like were directed towards her, which they were. So she wants him to apologize for that. And Rob was like, why would I apologize for what I post about my feelings on my own personal social media? I didn't ask you to come and read that. You came into my social media and you read them on your own. I wasn't forcing them upon you. And so to her, that was unacceptable. So then she starts crying. She starts getting emotional. She starts talking in this extremely annoying, high-pitched voice. I swear to God, the neighbor's dogs were barking. Her voice was so squeaky and high-pitched, I had to lower the volume of my television set. Then she turns on the waterworks, and she's demanding that he apologize for his. So how are you going to tell someone? That's kind of like almost telling someone, well, I read your journal and I want you to apologize for what you wrote in your journal about how you felt about me. What? Obviously, social media is a lot more public. She feels like all of this was directed towards her because, it doesn't even matter. That's his way of expressing his feelings. Because that's what people do nowadays. That's his Instagram, Facebook, TikTok, Twitter, whatever the hell he was posting on. He can post whatever the hell he wants. He doesn't have to apologize about how he felt and how he expressed how he felt. So the sun has gone down. It is nighttime now, and she is still demanding him to apologize. So to me, I felt like he was like at the end of his rope. So he goes ahead and he finally apologizes. And as soon as he said he was sorry, all of a sudden, the tears dried up. Her voice dropped down, about 10 octaves. She was talking normal again. And she was back to her normal Sophie self after she got what she wanted. Then she tells him that she wants him to change. She wants him to be more accountable. She wants him to acknowledge whenever he's making her feel bad and acknowledge her feelings. And he's like, okay, I'll do all of that. Then they forgive each other, and now they're back to wanting to get married. And that's wonderful that he says he's going to make all those promises. But I think with Rob, I think he does have a temper issue. I think he's got an anger issue. When things are said or done that he doesn't like, he instantly reacts out of emotion, and he says things that he regrets saying later. I think he needs to work on controlling his temper and controlling his anger. Then he won't say the things that put her in a position where she's feeling bad and she's crying and she's talking in that dog whistle voice. So they have a lot of work to do, but they will never ever admit to it. They think that the problems are solved because they've done these fake apologies, and they're back on track to get married. Good for them. Moving on to Gino and Jasmine. So they go wedding dress shopping, and the reason why Gino's coming along is because I guess he wants to control the spending. He doesn't want to just give her the credit card because she might go off and get some other type of plastic surgery done with his money. So he's going to be there to control how much is spent and what is getting bought. So there's a budget for the wedding dress that he has set for $1,000, and Jasmine tells us that she wants Gino to be absolutely speechless when she comes walking down the aisle. I don't know how speechless he's going to be because he's there. to help her pick out a dress. So on the day of the wedding, he's already going to know what she's going to look like. So anyways, so the first dress that she tries on was $3,000. And to me, it really wasn't her style. It was too flowy and not very form-fitting. And I know that Jasmine would want to wear a dress that shows off all of her artificial curves because she spent a lot of money fixing her body the exact way that she wants it to look. And I just didn't see her wearing that first dress. The second dress was a lot more her style. It was body hugging from top to bottom, but it was $5,000. And so Gina was like, hell no. The third dress was also more form fitting. It was also more of her style, but this one, it was only about $2,000. I think that's the one that she's going to go with. And it did look really pretty on her. Dress 2 and 3 looked absolutely beautiful on her. She's put a lot of money and a lot of work into that body. And so anything she puts on better look good. So moving on from there, they go to the wedding venue. It's going to be a barn. It's, a really nice modernized barn, but that's where they're going to have their wedding. Jasmine tells us that her ideal wedding is to get married on a tropical beach, barefoot with a flower crown. That's her ideal wedding. Gino, she says he wants a wedding that's a little bit more traditional, but he wants like a 1920s theme so that he can justify wearing a hat at his wedding ceremony, to look like the way they did back in the day. And, he would have a reason to put on a damn hat. So like I said, the venue is nice. It's a barn, very nice, modernized. It's really cute. The landscaping is also really, really pretty for pictures. Jasmine says that if she was in Panama, she would have said yes to the barn immediately because she did like it. But because they're in Michigan, she's going to put up a fight just to be difficult because she doesn't want to get married in Michigan. She doesn't want his family to be at the wedding. So she's going to be difficult on purpose. So Jasmine starts arguing about how, she doesn't want the family there because the family doesn't like her. They're going to ruin her wedding. They're going to say things to her that's going to make her upset. And she just really wants her family to be there. And then she turns on the baby voice. So she turns on the tears and he starts feeling sorry for her and telling her that it's all going to be okay. After that, they have dinner with Gino's family at a restaurant. So Jasmine, okay, what was she wearing? She had on this blue, like Little House on the Prairie dress. Like I didn't understand at all what the hell she was wearing. But anyway, so Jasmine tells us that she's only going to this family dinner for Gino. She's going to give the family another chance, but she's only doing it for Gino. She could care less about the damn family. So she does say that Gino better have her back at all times. Like, once again, that is the biggest sign of insecurity for someone to be that controlling, where they want their partner to have their back, whether they're right or whether they're wrong. That's just a complete sign of insecurity. So Jasmine tells them, they're all sitting down at dinner, and Jasmine tells the family how much she really wants to be loved and accepted by them, and that she really, 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 really needs them because she doesn't have family here. So she really needs their love and their support and their acceptance. Once again, she turns on the waterworks to be extra sympathetic, to really tug on their heartstrings, to really come off like, she's just this poor, innocent, little lost girl in America and really needs their support. And they fall for it. So the cousin says, we just didn't understand how someone can come all the way from Panama and try to find somebody in Michigan, and then you land on Gino and you're trying to steal our cousin away from us. And Jasmine says, well, just look at him. He's such a babe. Of course I would want him. Okay, whatever, girl. Now you're laying it on way too thick. So the family says that they're very protective of Gino because of what happened with his prior marriage. I guess, that woman ended up using him or something. I don't know what the details were with Gino's prior marriage. Gino doesn't really talk bad about his ex-wife. In fact, whenever Jasmine is insulting towards the ex-wife, Gino is a little bit kind of like defensive towards, defensive for with his wife, his ex-wife. Like, he gets really defensive, he gets really protective, and he always tells Jasmine to tone it down whenever she starts getting, very critical about his ex-wife. But the family makes it seem like the ex-wife had put him through so much hell. This is the reason why they're a little bit standoffish with Jasmine, because of what he went through with wife number one. So the nephew says that they believe her now because of all the emotion that she displayed at dinner. So they fell for it, hook, line, and sinker, when she started crying and using her baby voice. And so I don't know what's going to happen. But you know what? Jasmine doesn't care about the family. To me, Jasmine is still an opportunist. I think as soon as she gets what she wants out of Gino, I think we're going to see the real, true blue Jasmine. Right now, she's playing the part to get to where she wants to get to. Once they get married, I just don't think that they're going to stay married for long. I just don't think so. I think it's going to be like Colt and Larissa. As soon as Larissa got her papers and her green card, she was out of there. So I have a feeling that Jasmine, because, to me, another thing about Jasmine, I'm kind of going off on a tangent now. Another thing about Jasmine, to me, Jasmine, this is a positive thing. She's very personable because I see how she interacts with other people. Like when they go to an establishment, like when they went to the wedding venue, when they're at a store, a restaurant, or wherever, she's very personable. She's got a sense of humor. She is welcoming. She's funny. She's polite, and she's really nice, and she's very, very personable. I think that Jasmine kind of probably has a future. If she ever wants to stick with entertainment and television, she might have a future in that. Or like if she wants to be like an influencer, Jasmine probably definitely has a future because she is very personable. Now, when it comes to her relationships, it's kind of scary and how the things that she does to Gino and how she uses Gino. But other than that, if she ever wanted to do something in television or if she ever wanted to do something like on a bigger scale in social media, I think she might, be good at it. I mean, she already has the looks. Moving on to Sam and Citra. So it's the day before the wedding. Sam and Citra's dad. Okay, so yeah, it's the day before the wedding. And Citra tries on her wedding gown, which is like this olive green colored dress. It's, it's a very modest looking gown. Not even a gown, it's a dress. It's long sleeves. It goes all the way down to her ankles. Her father still felt like it was too tight, which it wasn't tight at all. It was, it wasn't even, I hesitate to even call it form fitting. It was just a regular dress. It was a regular dress that you would wear to anywhere. But her dad was like, it's a little bit too tight. Sam and Citra's dad sit down and have a man-to-man conversation. The dad wants Sam to promise him that he's going to take care of Citra and not waste her time. Treat his daughter good, be there for her, love her, care for her, etc. Sam says that Sam makes all the promises like, yes, I love her, I'll take care of her. And I do think that Sam does love Citra, and I think Citra does love Sam. I think this is a real relationship. I think they're really in it for each other. I don't see them using each other for anything. And even though Sam may not be the ideal guy that her father would have picked for his daughter, he does love Citra. And he does want to take care of her. I mean, he's willing to convert his religion for her. So moving on from there, it's time for the conversion and it's time for the wedding, because the conversion, him converting to Islam, and the wedding are all going to take place, I think, the same. Yeah, the Muslim wedding and the conversion are all taking place the same day, the same place. So they arrive at the mosque. Citra's dad shows him how to perform wudu, which is, cleansing of your body before prayer. So, after they do the wudu, Sam comes out and he sits next to Citra's sister. And the sister moved over all the way and she was like, don't touch me. Because after a man performs wudu, he cannot touch a female. Because if you touch a female, you have to go back and perform the wudu again, do the cleansing again. So Sam's atheist father shows up to support his son, but his Christian mother doesn't, which is, I think, was very, very telling. The father, who doesn't believe in any kind of entity or any kind of religion, he understands that this is important to his son, so he came there to show his support and his love. The mother, who claims to be a Christian, and Christians are supposed to be, loving people, accepting people, forgiving people. She does not symbolize all Christians or the Christian faith. This is not saying anything about the religion itself. I'm talking about how this is saying a lot about her as a person who's masking as a Christian and who is the mother of Sam, but did not come to support her son, but will call herself a Christian. That blew my mind. This is your child. He's making the decision that he's making for whatever reason. All you have to do is be there to support his decision. You don't have to agree with it, but be there to support your child in this extremely important moment in his life. Like I said, this is not telling of Christianity. This is telling of her as a human being and as a mother. So Sam was very, very disappointed that his mother didn't show up. And so after that, the imam comes and they do the other people at the mosque, including Sam's father. Yeah. including Citra's father. They do the prayer, and after the prayer, Sam is called to the front. So he comes to the front, he sits down next to the imam. The imam announces to everybody that he's going to be converting to Islam, and he begins to recite the Shahada. And the Shahada basically is a prayer that you recite, I think, where you are saying that no other deity is worthy of my worship other than Allah, and that Muhammad is the final prophet and messenger, and that you totally and completely accept this, as truth. And he repeats it successfully, and after that, he has converted. Now he is Muslim. Then after that, they bring up Citra to the front. The father also comes up, and he sits in between Citra and Sam. And then they perform the wedding ceremony. And within minutes, it's over. And now they are officially married. And they're both extremely happy. And y'all, after the wedding ceremony, the hugs that went around just put me in my feels. Like, I got the feels completely. How everybody was so accepting and loving towards one another. All the hugs. Sam hugged the imam. The father hugged the imam. Sam and the father hugged each other. I mean, it was just beautiful. To me, it was a really beautiful moment. And, I loved it. I absolutely loved it. I think Sam is a really good guy because, like I said, he is willing to convert his religion for his woman in order for him to marry her. And he took it seriously. Now, like I said, I don't think that he did this out of the goodness of his own heart. Like I said, I don't think he wanted to become Muslim. He's doing this to marry Citra. If Citra was never in his life, Sam would not be converting. He's only doing this to marry Citra, but that just shows, I think, how much he loves this woman. And I think it was a beautiful thing. Moving on to Manuel and Ashley. Not much happened with them, y'all. Ashley is living Jasmine's best life because Ashley is having the kind of wedding that Jasmine would want. She's getting married in Miami on the beach. Now, if they can survive the tropical storm, everything will be hunky-dory. So, per Ashley, they are FaceTiming Manuel's mother because Ashley told Manuel that she wanted both of them to have a conversation with the mother before their wedding. So, they're FaceTiming the mother. It was a very emotional, heartfelt conversation between the three of them. Everybody was crying. And basically, it was just a lot of talk about, how Manuel really regrets his family not being there for his wedding. The mother also was really sad that she wasn't able to attend. And Ashley was being very supportive towards both of them, like, trying to tell the mom, I understand how you feel, but don't worry, I'm going to take care of him. And Ashley felt really good that Manuel is finally including her in his family dynamic, where she's able to talk to some of his relatives, because she's already talked to his son, and now she's talking to his mother. After that, Ashley gets a message from her wedding planner that there is a tropical storm brewing, and Ashley did not take the weather into consideration while she was planning her destination beach wedding. And you would think, if you're planning a destination outside wedding, that the number one thing that you're going to look into is the weather, especially a place like Florida, where the weather is so up and down, topsy-turvy. So she doesn't have a plan B. There is no inside venue for the wedding to take place if they can't do it outside, because you have to book these places in advance. So there is no inside venue. They can't postpone the wedding because of the 90-day time frame. So they're very limited on time. There is no other place to get married. So I don't know what's going to happen. Most likely, y'all, the tropical storm is not going to happen. I seriously doubt a tropical storm was even in the horizon in this particular scene, because I'm pretty sure the wedding is going to take place. It was just for dramatic effect. And if I'm wrong, I'm wrong. But thank you so much for joining me. I really do appreciate it. On your way out, please don't forget to rate the video. If you like this content, please subscribe to my channel, and I'll definitely talk to you later. Bye.